And hello again. Welcome back to the Moeller's Workshop, where today I'm going to treat you to a montage of recordings I have made with my sequencing device. Since it's been constructed, since it's been programmed, there's been many days and many hours that have been going into the programming, and it's been very slow and somewhat discouraging at some points because some of the things that I'm trying to do here are different than anything I've ever attempted with these microcontrollers, these Arduino controllers. And so anyway, as I've made progress, I've recorded little snips here and there of really fascinating and interesting sounding sequences and tunes, so I'm going to play them for you. But just before I do that, I wanted to show you, so this is the work so far that we've gone to, and I just want to show you how easy it is, because right now what it does is automatically recalls the last bit of work you've been doing, including sequences that you've saved. So I just want to show you real quick, demonstrate how quickly this thing comes online and performs for you. So the first thing you do is you want to take your basic RCA audio cable. It's a standard RCA. Got it for like $6 or something like that on Amazon. It's a really nice high quality one. And you get your phono jack adapter and you plug it into your effects pedal. You power up your effects pedal. It comes online. It's a Digitech. It's a good little thing. Nice little pedal. Offers lots of special effects for a reasonable price. Then you take the other side. And I just have two outputs right here. Now if you notice the cuts in the back, this is to expose the programming ports of all the microcontrollers that are inside. Makes it a little easier to get to with the computer. You take your audio input jack and just plug it into one of your outputs of your sequencer. And then you power up your sequencer. Now my practice is to power it up before I hook it up to the USB, because what it likes to do is it likes to take power off the computer, and it's not strong enough to power up all the equipment inside. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn on the audio and we're going to listen to what it sounds like. Hopefully it sounds good. So what this is all the different DCO settings and a loaded sequence. So let's turn DCO 3 and 2 down and listen to 1. 1 is kind of a percussive flute. And let's listen to what 2 is. Now I know 2 is a recorded sequence, but it's also playing at a random spin. Let's take a look at the settings. DCO settings for DCO 2, there is a 29% chance that it won't play the actual note. Now I could set that to 0, and I'll play every note, which could be not monotonous. But for something interesting, throw a random spin in there, turn that up to 50%. Plays it a little less, which is interesting because if you throw that little beat in there, see how rocky that can be? Let's turn DCO 1 off and 2 off, and let's turn up 3 and hear what 3 is saying. 3 is a flute. It's got the attack and decay of a flute, but it's playing at a 29% I'm not going to talk setting. So let's turn it back to 0. Let's listen to every note. So the attack and decay of this instrument that I've chosen or manufactured is pretty much the same. If I make it more a lower number, like 4, it's going to be more percussive. See that? It is kind of a low note too, and it's because I've got it at a 2 shift. I don't know if you can see that's pretty tiny. Let me bring this camera closer to those settings screens so you can get appreciation for what the display is showing. Still can't really see it that well, because unfortunately this camera doesn't like to get close up to anything. But the little box, I'm going to navigate it to the 2, which is the shift. Now if I make it 0, you can actually hear what the true note of this sequence is. And it's probably because of this shift is at 0. So that's the master shift control. I'll show you where that displays. Oops. Right there at the very top. And if I turn this knob, you'll see that number change. Unfortunately, again, you can't really see anything because this stupid camera doesn't like being close. Anyways, so I turn all 3 DCOs up, and now you can hear the little band going on. So I will play you a real quick montage of all the really cool sounding sequences and playing that this device has made since the programming started, and keep you updated as the complexity increases. So I taught the DCOs how to operate independent of each other. And now, currently DCO2 and DCO3 are randomly intermittently speaking. If you look at this programming, it's a 50% random whether they speak or not. And you can see the results right here. Sounds almost musical, doesn't it?
It kind of sounds like an old school video game background music.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like something for Zelda. Sounds like some music for Zelda or something. Why do they even call it Zelda if the person doing everything is called...
So the DCO1 position has a VCA effect, allowing it to sound like a bell or a flute maybe. So I turned these 2 DCAs off so you can just hear this one. He's basically holding the rhythm and holding the structure of the tune together. So I can make it so it sounds like a little whistle or a flute. And now while that's holding the tune together, we can introduce the intermittent chord notes. Pretty neat sound. So I got this sounding really snazzy. You can't really tell what's going on with the box, but the difference is I'm using a digital delay, so it sounds kind of magical. I wonder if I speed it up. A little loud. That is a little too much. conclusion. As this project becomes more complex and the programming provides me the ability to do more technical interleaving of both arpeggio elements and pre-recorded sequence tunes, creating a mathematical interplay for them can create artificial music. And the possibilities are endless with the ability to control how the sound is. And I'm going to also introduce white noise for percussive effects and wind effects and such. It's going to be really amazing, so I'm going to keep you posted. Just stay tuned.